Well, I think Kaylee's bod without the dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I mean, neither of us have a dad if you want to really get into it.
Probably why we don't have a dad bod.
Yeah.
We don't even know what it's supposed to be.
I think like it's supposed to be hairy is how it
Big
started.
is hairy.
I am very hairy.
I've been getting hairier with age, and I don't know that I love it. You
I
know?
get a couple chin hairs now. So, though I'm not a dad, I too am getting hairier.
You trying to grow the goat?
Trying to.
For me, it's been like the fucking ear hairs have like
Oh,
really just taken off. I remember in my 20s, it'd be like, okay, I might get like one on the lobe. And now it's like, okay, every other week, I'm having to get in there with a little trimmer and I got to shave the back of my ear once a week.
yeah. Guys do get ear and nose hairs.
Yeah, it's annoying because like when I used to have hair on my head, like they would kind of trim that shit up, you know? They take care of it for me when I would go in
Oh,
for a
yeah,
haircut.
yeah.
Now I gotta like try and think about it myself. Like hopefully before the point where my wife is disgusted with me as a human being.
Yeah, I feel like guys, outside perspective, sometimes I see things on Jake and I'm like, when's the last time, for example, you cleaned your ears out? Like, I think guys just don't think about like daily self care things quite as often as females.
That's because traditionally people don't care whether we're pretty or not as much.
But I
Yeah.
feel like cleaning your ears is a hygiene thing.
Nah.
So I might be the oddball here. I clean my ears, but the way I clean them is definitely weird, apparently. I don't use a Q-tip. I use a bobby pin. No, I use a bobby pin because you can like go over and hook and pull it all out at one time. That face is the exact face Nikki made the first time she saw me clean my ears.
Yeah, because you can puncture
There's
your
so
eardrum.
many things wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nah.
Like, couldn't you rupture your own eardrum?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I
I
got
just
that.
see Phil in there fucking Harry out of the shower with a fucking bobby pin in his ear, and Nikki walks in like, wow, I've never been more turned on in my life.
But like also it's not just that, like he has ruptured his eardrum and he's just slightly bleeding
Just
out
breathing.
ear canal.
But he's saying it's fine, everything's fine, it's happened before.
What?
Like I don't feel a thing.
What? Speak up. Can't hear you. Better go clean my ears.
See?
No,
So, Phil, you may have never shit your pants, but you do clean your ears with a bobby pin.
No, he said he's never shit his pants as an adult, which I still don't buy from him of all people. I've seen
look,
what he eats. There is
Like,
no way that he
I
has
feel
never
like
started as an adult.
every human at some point has trusted a fart that betrayed them.
I got advice on my wedding day from one of my groomsmen, passed along from his grandfather's advice to him on his wedding day was never pass a bathroom, never trust a fart, never turn down a beer with a friend.
Solid advice.
Right?
By the way, the shit doesn't have to hit cloth for it to be you shitting your pants. Like if you shit and the shit stays in your butt crack, you still shit yourself.
Ooh, not a scarier feeling than like, oh shit.
Look, maybe I just have great sphincter control over here.
It's fair.
9 out of 10 boys disagree.
Oh, hot coffee about flew through my nose. That was good, Steven. Solid burn.
Fucking shit.
I feel
I
like
love
we should do this. This is now stand-up comedy. This is no longer anything fitness related.
it was interesting. So I've been on the phone with people more lately, and like apparently a lot of people that are actually listening to us, which isn't a lot of people, but the ones who are like, yo, that podcast is good.
I know my client, they're like, they can't wait to get more. They like our banter, I think.
Yeah, that
I think it's just because I'm so pretty.
it could be. Not if they're only listening to audio though.
That's most likely it, Bill.
Like, you can be attracted to someone's voice, or so I tell myself.
That is true. Yeah, I feel like if you heard my voice alone, I wouldn't nearly be as hot.
Yeah, what's the astrophysicist guy? That guy has a fucking sexy voice.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. And what the lady Stevie Nicks. Ah, that shit
Yeah.
gets me fucking going. Ooh. I know she's like in her 60s or 70s now. I don't give a fuck.
But just that little bit of like rasp to her voice, I'm like, "Yeah, just sing me a lullaby, sweet mama.
Oh my
I'm
god.
there."
It's like the gypsy feel, like, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we're all gypsies deep down. Let's go.
This is turned.
Stevie, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry?
Stevie and Steven, wouldn't that be cute?
Nah, I don't think Jillian would like that very much.
I mean, she's old and she's famous. I feel like it doesn't count.
She could be both of your sugar mama.
I
'Cause I
don't know.
feel like if my husband came home and was like, "Hey, babe, I kissed another woman," I'd be like, "Oh, she's fucking dead. She's 80." I'd be like, "Okay."
It's just like your grandma at that point, right?
Like,
That's all bad. All kinds of bad insinuations there. I don't like my grandma that much. She's like, okay, she's gotten better over the years. I feel like there was this really weird thing. And by the way, we're talking about like dad without the bod today. So like, how do you manage like parenting and life and all the rest of the important shit that comes in, and like the expectations and where your fitness stuff should be, to be realistic with it, but to not be, dad bodding in the traditional sense, at least as much as possible for whatever that means for you. But I feel like after my grandpa died, my grandma, like, she had emotion like a couple of times, which was really fucking weird to me and made me extremely uncomfortable. Uh,
we have the
Oh, she
same grandma. I swear we were just like we were pulled and put in the same households.
it's
ugh,
like one of you had a Y chromosome and the other one didn't.
you don't know my fucking chromosomes? Fuck you.
Yes, I do. I've studied them
You Bill,
extensively.
I mean, where the fuck do we even start? This is what happens when you don't have a real
we were talking
plan.
about your grandma being sweet one time.
She's gotten much nicer now, and it still kind of makes me uncomfortable, but I kind of like it. I don't know. Um, I think it starts with like the fucking idea of dad bod, right? It's kind of like, all right, I'm skinny, but I got a really big beer belly stomach. Um, I'm just like, man, how does that happen? And it happens for like that lack of exercise, right? Like I'm not fucking active. I don't do anything. I definitely drink at least on occasion, if not like semi regularly. Um, you know, and the barrier for what is exercise for me might be something like, oh yeah, I'm gonna mow the lawn to get my exercise today. Which is always wild to me because I'll have somebody be like, "Oh, does mowing the lawn count as cardio?" And I was like, "That's a big old head nod to the side, homie."
I will say
It
this.
isn't push mode.
I will argue if you are push mowing in Florida from May until like October, fuck yeah, that counts.
No, it doesn't, because heat does not burn extra calories.
No, no, no,
Cold
no, no.
burns extra calories.
Push
Heat does
mowing.
not.
Push mowing.
You're
Like,
gonna push mow anyways. I swear to God, if I ever come to the point where I have a client be like, "Hey, is mowing the lawn count as cardio?" And for some fucking reason, I'm like, "Send me a picture of your lawnmower," and they send me a riding mower, like, I'm just gonna fucking end everything right then and there. That's
My
the
god,
end
that
of it.
would
I'm
be
done.
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
gold.
without a doubt. But like, there were definitely times, especially my yard in Florida was massive. So it's like, okay, I'm out there for a while. I did have hills. So like I'm pushing extra weight up a hill. My heart rate would get into like the 120s, the 140s. Like, what's the difference of if I'm on a treadmill and my heart rate's hitting that target zone versus I'm outside?
Yeah, I feel like most people don't refer to it as such, though. My yard is very small. Not that I mow that shit myself. Thankfully, I don't know, thankfully, I moved in, the HOA handles that. Like, I don't have a fucking
Oh,
choice.
nice.
Yeah, it's like an extra $100 a month, and that includes like my trash and then the lawn care stuff. So it is
Well,
pretty
that's,
solid.
yeah, slam dunk for that price.
Yes. But I got like baby dick yard. You know what I mean? It's so small.
I know our in Florida, you could touch house to house in between almost. I was not equipped for how close living quarters in a city because I grew up in the country. It was like culture shock. Like, oh damn, these houses are close, close.
Well, that's because you were in and I am in one of those like manufactured, like just fucking put up all the homes as quick as possible and
Yeah, a
make.
little neighborhood. Yeah, like a little resort. It's almost like an all inclusive resort. They pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my house that like Steven you came over to, that was like tiny yard. Like that would not count. But the last house that Nikki and I were in Florida, where it was a full acre and I was push mowing that shit.
Acre's a lot to push mow. I
So
don't
Yeah.
push mow, but
I'll give it to you on an acre. If you're on a half acre or less, though, nah.
Well, it
My
would
whole
depend on how long it took you too. If you have 30, 60 minutes of cardio a day and it only takes you 20 to mow the grass, was it consistent that
Right,
20
like
minutes? But
So, by the way, also, most push mowers also give you some help. So you're not doing all the work yourself. But they sent me a
with
picture
that
of the
said,
old
they're still
school.
hard to push sometimes.
Yeah. You can send me a picture of that old school, like 1940s mower thing. Fuck yeah. It's counted as cardio.
In high
I
school,
feel
we had
like,
the metal propel
yes.
one. That's what I did to
oh,
mow our grass with in high school.
I switched over to one of the Craftsman battery-powered mowers whenever we moved to Tennessee, and it doesn't have the self-propel function
Fucking
on
boo.
it. Dude,
I feel like you're a dad,
horrible.
can't you, like, make it self-propelled?
I mean, if you give me enough beer and chili, sure, I mean,
Put a sail on it.
That
It's
reminds
wind
me, as
power.
we're talking about dad bods, tell me what it is about dads where they see something and they think, "I can improve this." When we lived in Florida, Pearl had a Minnie Mouse, one of those cars, like what are they called? RC,
Power
not
Wheels.
yeah, like a Power Wheels, Minnie Mouse, and this is slow, she's 4. I can put one of those fucking batteries in there. He made it to where you used a battery pack from, like, the power tools. No shit, she's going down the sidewalk, nanny, whole fucking thing goes up in flames. It caught
Yeah,
fire in the
yeah.
back.
So, I did the same thing for Ellie's and Jesse's, and there's like a you have to put a volt control on it.
You have to remove where it says "Do not disconnect and remove." He did that.
Yeah, so no, it's absolutely a dad thing. It's because it can be better. Why didn't they just make it better? I'm gonna finish the job.
Right. So back
It's
to
being
my
challenged.
original point.
Sorry.
Most people mowing the lawn is pretty fucking chill. Right. The mower oftentimes helps you. Maybe not yours. So maybe your special situation, maybe for some of those people, sure. But like the heat is also a thing like, oh, but it's hot out and I sweat. Like I sweat when I do it. And I don't think that just, especially living in fucking Satan's anus that is Florida and the Tampa Bay area,
It
like
is Satan's
sweating
anus.
itself is not exercise. You know what I mean? Just
Same
maybe
as sitting in a sauna is not exercise.
Yeah, sauna.
Sauna.
right. Plus, like at a certain point, you fucking kind of just have to mow the lawn. Um,
Well, it's like
and,
if somebody asked, vacuuming my floor exercise? Like, well, no,
I
it's
get hella
movement.
steps when I clean the house.
Right. Like, hey, I get steps in. That's fantastic.
Right, but it's not.
But it's like, no, it's not exercise. It's just part of fucking
Yeah,
life.
I think in a scenario, if you typically like, if you're in a contest prep and you have, because lifestyle, I could give a shit if a lifestyle client's using mowing as their cardio. Like, it's not that serious. But if you're in contest prep, if you don't normally do it and you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll do it this week. And that instance, if it's not part of your regular routine, I feel like it would have benefits and, as extra. Um, but anything that's a normal day to day thing, I typically don't have clients count.
maybe for calorie expenditure, but I would count that as neat or non-exercise active thermogenesis. So same thing with cleaning the house, same thing with vacuuming, whatever it might be. Those are kind of like part of your day-to-day things. Now, there can be a point in terms of like cardiometabolic health and that kind of piece of the health portion, not involving weight loss, where if we're only getting 4,000 steps a day and now we're getting 7,000 steps a day because we're cleaning more often or doing more chores, that kind of stuff, fuck yeah, absolute benefit. And may help you burn some more calories, which may help you lose fat. You guys are both drinking Fairlife. Fuck.
Sam's. Sam's.
Yeah. What's up? 30 grams from Sam's.
Fair life. Give me
You guys don't serve.
sponsorship. People are wild. I remember the first time that I posted, like, that I drank these, like, it was just in my story, and, like, 10 people came after me for how cows are treated or something.
I mean, you should get a cow soon. But
You
anyways,
milk it.
right? Because there is a difference, and we see this in what like the daily recommendations from like CDC, NSCA, ACSM, blah blah blah, are for the difference between like actual exercise, which tends to be associated with higher heart rates, and then there's movement based stuff. Because the weird thing that I think a lot of people still don't realize right now is that lack of enough exercise is like a negative health indicator. But sedentary time in itself is a completely separate negative health indicator. So if you have a certain amount of time sitting or being sedentary, or like these large blocks of time being sedentary, that's another thing that they can look at and be like, okay, this is another indicator of like bad or poor health outcomes. And so yes, it can help with health. Absolutely. Yes, it might help with some weight loss. I think for most people, they'll probably find that be pretty minimal because you're not typically uh, always mowing your yard all the time
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Right.
Like, um, if it breaks up your sedentary time, you're like, okay, well, cool. I'm not sitting on my ass watching TV for 2 hours now. Maybe I sit on my ass for 45 minutes, go mow the lawn for 20 minutes, and then come back again and sit on my ass for a little bit. Cool. That's still an overall, I think, benefit for health.
Yeah, because I think that it just goes back to it depends on different people, different goals, right? Like if somebody's asking me, "Hey, is does mowing the yard count as exercise?" and like it takes them 20 minutes to do. I guess on one hand you could even argue like, okay, well, is going for a 20-minute walk really even considered exercise? Like that's
And I
gonna
think it
something
depends
that's being
on
debated.
the person, right?
Right.
If I was like, say I have one of my 7-year-old clients that like, hey, I'm walking. I have some 7-year-olds that do fucking cardio and great like lifting. But I have others that like absolutely fuck yeah, let's go on a leisurely-esque stroll.
Yeah.
When I
I'd
think
say
dad, I think like our age, like
right. So
20s,
for
30s, 40s.
the dads out there, like what I will look at whenever someone's asking like does a specific activity count as cardio is look, is that the only movement that you're getting in today? Like if you didn't have that movement, would you be sitting at like 2 or 3,000 steps? If you do that movement though and suddenly you're at 10,000 steps from doing it, okay, I mean that's good. I will never say it's a bad thing that somebody's getting in movement, but I think that also what ends up happening with parents in general is that most people start setting the bar for themselves for how much they take care of themselves lower and lower as they start having kids and especially as they have more kids. Like when Ellie was born, it was super easy for us just with one kid after she was out of the newborn phase to be like, hey, you go get a workout in. I'm going to watch the kid. You take all the time you need, go to the gym, work out in the garage, whatever. I'll do it on every other day. So I'll do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Fantastic. We've each got an hour, 3 days a week. And if we wanted to, Saturday, like, hey, you go first, come back home, do your thing whenever you want, watch her, and I'll go to the gym. Like, it's easier. Put a second kid into the mix, and it's like, whoa, hang on a second. I got two kids.
She looks at you, "If you leave this fucking house, I'll kill you."
Pretty much. Like, especially whenever she was like, the postpartum depression with Jesse was very, very hard for
My
Nikki.
second one was rough.
And you add in, like, Jesse was born in March of 2020. So, like, nobody was around us. Like,
Yep.
no one. So it becomes easier, like, it becomes easier to put yourself and your health and your well-being lower and lower and lower because it's like, all right, well, I want to make sure obviously I'm talking about like people that are in marriages or relationships and you're not completely self-centered asshole, but like, okay, I want to make sure that my wife is taken care of. Bye,
You're
Steven.
married, Stephen.
But like, hey, I want to make sure my wife is able to take care of herself. I want to make sure that Ellie's taken care of, Jesse's taken care of. Okay, I have a business. I want to make sure that the business is taken care of. I want to make sure clients are taken care of. And next thing you know, it's like, oh, I'm somehow falling like way down here. And especially whenever we look at, I think especially whenever we look at the norms of what's accepted and what's pushed in society as like, yeah, no, going to the gym, that's crazy with kids. That's so hard to do. I'll do it when they're grown and out of the house. And what ends up happening is you are setting yourself up that's just going to be harder and harder. And meanwhile, you're sacrificing years of your own health. Or, well, it's just easier to air fry a bunch of chicky nuggies and French fries. I'm not saying that my kids don't have those nights, but just because my kids are having it doesn't mean I have it too.
So, and I think one thing that maybe all of us here are pretty lucky with, we don't really have travel time to and from work all the time. And we don't have to go to the I have some
Right.
client and people, they got to drive an hour each way to go to the office whenever they got to go to work. Um, whatever that might mean. So that just adds to more time that they don't necessarily have available to themselves. Um, and like with that, it's like I want to make a joke like I was already a piece of shit before I have kids. Why would I care about myself more now? Um, like I already
You
hate
would say some shit like that, even if you had kids.
I just said it. So yeah. Um, but it's also one of those things where I feel like you have to change that how it's presented. Taking care of yourself is part of taking care of your kids because you want to be there as long, and the rest of your family too. You want to be there as long as possible, and you want to have as much quality time and memories to make as possible with those people. And so it's always this thing like you're trying to pour out of an empty cup. Like, how are you supposed to give something to all these other people if there's nothing that you have left to give? Right? You can't be your best. So it's hard, but figuring out, and sometimes it is that simple. It's okay, getting up and maybe I'm going to do X, Y, or Z around the house now, and that's going to help me get more movement and stuff. Uh, uh, I don't want to like detract from positive progress. If you make positive progress over time, you will get where you want if you continue to do that. That shit builds and it fucking is huge.
I
Um,
think too, I know it's different from the male verse, but it's probably the same Phil you can step in. But I think too, finding ways to be active with your kids is a really easy way to intertwine that. And it's not like you're forcing them, but, like, I'm assuming because I know if I did this, Phil, your kids would probably love it. If you're like, "Hey, help me carry out these bands and these dumbbells," you put them all in your driveway and then just have, like, a family they'll fuck off mostly, but you'll get to work out. They'll have
Yeah.
fun, like, "Da," and then later they're like, "Dad, remember when we used to just work out in the driveway?" Kids, it's those seem like small things, but it's bonding time with your family, and then you don't get as much resentment either. Because do I wanna train with my kids? It's not that I don't love them, but it does slow me down, and I can't lift as heavy because I gotta pay
Right.
attention to where the weight's going. But at the end of the day, when it's over, I feel really good, like, "Okay, I did what I said I was gonna do," and the kids love it. Like, Pearl now she works on her pull-ups every time I train, and she will do
awesome.
that for 45 minutes straight with a band, and just like Mom, when she was having her foot surgery, she's like, "I'm so sad, I'm gonna get behind, Mom, I can't practice my pull-ups." Like, but I've never told her she has to train, but it's a really cool way where I still get to, like, be a fit parent, but intertwining them. Because I think if you this is just my personal opinion, if you try to separate them too much, I just don't know that you can have a really like, a fit life and have your family and never have them intertwine, and why wouldn't you
Yeah.
want them to? So that maybe they if you're struggling, they never have to get to that bottom point that you got to.
Yeah, I do that pretty regularly with Ellie and Jesse. Like, so I prefer doing hit cardio over being on treadmill, elliptical, whatever for an hour. I'd rather just do like 20, 25 minutes of hit twice a week. Um, so I love medicine ball slams. I'll do
Ooh,
medicine
I
ball
used to love
slam.
those too.
Yeah, so like I've got a 30-pound medicine ball. That way, like there's no bounce, so it's like I gotta squat
Yeah,
down,
don't
pick it
do it
up.
with a bounce. Yeah,
Yeah,
like the
because I
rope.
the first one I bought was like 6 pounds. It was like bouncing a basketball. I was like, this isn't hard at all. This is terrible.
Have you ever seen that video, that lady that slams one down, that comes up and fucking knocks her tooth out, and you see it, like, stumble on the
That was almost me with the 6 pound ball. I like slammed that shit down and it came up and it got me in the jaw. I was like, oh no, I need heavier. So like I had to take air out of it. But what I did was I just bought 2, like, cheap basketballs from the Dollar Tree, and I deflated the air out, so that way while I'm doing it, Ellie and Jesse have their own, and, like, I spray painted Ellie's, pink and did, like,
Aw,
glitter
you're such a good dad,
on it.
Phil.
So she's got, like, her own kinda, like, princessy
Yeah.
medicine ball, and
Yeah,
it's like,
that's cool.
cool. We can all be outside. I can be doing the medicine ball slams. Kids are doing it too. You know, Jesse tries push-ups, but it looks like he's trying to just hump the ground, so it's kind of funny.
Yep.
But then like hey, great, that's time where now Nikki is able to go take care of
Don't you
herself.
kink shame him. Don't you dare kink shame that young man.
I mean, I guess he's loving Mother Earth in a
He
sense.
The world is beautiful, okay?
So, like, I love involving my kids. They each have their own little, like, 5-pound, like, the neoprene dumbbells. They've got those, and I it's just time where we're able to bond together. Yeah, they're only involved for, like, 30 seconds at a time, and then they kinda just run and do their own shit. Like, usually Jesse's got wrestling figures or Hot Wheels out there, and Ellie's got, like, a Barbie or a Polly Pocket or a Gabby Dollhouse thing, and it's like, "Okay, whatever, they're doing their thing, I'm able to do my thing," and then whenever they start to bother me, I'm like, "Wait, wait, wait, it's your set. It's your turn, you guys gotta do this now."
Yep.
Or like,
And I feel like you do the same thing with them with nutrition because I know it's very different, male, female, and just how we look at food typically and how we look at our bodies sometimes. But
So let's
how do
talk a little bit
you?
more about activity before we get to nutrition, if you guys are cool with that.
Yeah, I'm way
Because
cool.
like, it's
bolster
such
those
its
pistols.
own fucking thing. Yeah, put those bitches away, Kaylee. Stop trying to pre me on us, okay? Nobody likes that. Um, hey, look, man, two pumps is not enough.
Two pounds.
Okay.
Sometimes that's all you get.
Hey, look, I got you next time, baby. Uh, uh, pat on the back. My bad. They can't all be winners. All
Oh,
right.
it's great.
So like you guys are talking about it in terms of the idea of weight training, resistance training, which I love. And I think it's great, but it doesn't necessarily have to be with that either, because a lot of people maybe don't give a shit about weight training. Some people don't like it, but they do like other stuff. So like maybe their kids are like, "Oh, cool, I'm kind of getting into um running, right? Or I'm kind of getting
Yeah,
into cross
biking.
country or basketball or like any of the fucking normal things." And like this is, I think, one of the missed opportunities that is so good to be able to stay in better shape and in better health as a parent is to be doing those things with your kids and playing an active role in how they play. Because not only whether it's resistance training or not, you are helping them to find things that they love and can enjoy in ways they can do it that will serve them positively for a lifetime. And so whether that's weights or jumping rope or running or throwing the football and catch and baseball and whatever, there are so many ways for like parents to incorporate that into their own fitness routine and have that not just be time to stay fit and healthy, but time to also bond and grow with your kids.
Yeah.
So the for me, like I started lifting weights with my dad summer between uh 5th and 6th grade. And that was whenever I was still playing football. So it was like, hey, I've got bonding time with my dad, like we're working out, and then afterwards, like after workouts or on like rest days, well, I still had because uh, I was mostly offensive line, but I would play tight end a little bit. And it was like, hey, you got to be able to run certain routes, like short yardage, whatever. But, you know, it was still like, hey, practice your routes, throw the ball to me, catch. And then the cool part for me as a kid, because my parents had us whenever they were super young. So my dad was only like my dad was my age whenever I was in ninth grade. For him, it was like he could still run. He can still like make a hard cut on like on a post route or do a curl. So that was also cool for me. It was like, hey, we're actually like playing football together. I'm able to actually practice some of my routes. If I'm messing up, he's fit and active enough that he could show that to me. And I didn't realize until probably like a couple years later what a blessing that was to have a dad that was able to run and do curl routes and do quick cuts like
Okay.
that. Because I remember one of my teammates, I was like, "Well, yeah, well, I just practiced with my dad. That's how I got better." And he's like, "Oh, my dad's glued to the couch and drinking beer by the time like I get home from school. He can't do it." And I remember just going, "Oh, I guess not every dad still works out in his 30s, almost 40." And
It's gonna be interesting because everybody's having kids later now. It's gonna be interesting to see what that's like as a whole, like 20 years from now or 10 years from now even, because we're gonna have an older demographic of parents, where usually a lot of us, our generation, our parents had kids when they were teenagers or right out of high school, especially our grandparents. And so it was very different staying active as they age. But then if you think about, because I'm 40, so when Henry graduates high school, I'll be, oh God, 56, 56? I just
Did
heard my
your
husband go,
fucking husband just
"Whoa."
like
I tell if that was Jake or Barkley.
No, it was fucking my husband in the room, but 56 is very different, like, am I gonna be, am I gonna be throwing the balls with him? I mean, I probably will, but, it's gonna be an interesting just to see how all that plays out for our generation.
but, like, and there can be different things too, though, that you can do. Like, so say, okay, maybe fucking football's not my thing. Maybe I don't have the hand-eye coordination, whatever. Like, my mom never would have fucking thrown a football with me or played catch or something. But, like,
Maybe at you.
yeah, for sure at me. Um, but like we could have done other things if she was in shape, right? There were other things that she would have been able to do. Like maybe we go out for the walks more often as a family, right? Again, lower barrier to entry, might not be quote unquote cardio the same way, but it's still activity. It's still stuff that keeps us moving and gets us being able to spend time together.
Yeah,
Uh,
my mom would always take us, she loved nature, and I do now, obviously, I just made this correlation, but we didn't have money, so we had a big Rottweiler, she would get all the kids and the Rottweiler, and we'd just go to, like, a park or where there was a lot of creek, and we would just, for hours, walk, look at rocks. It didn't cost anything, she got to hang out with us, and those were all really cool memories I have of just, like, exploring.
Mhm. Yeah, like, hiking is a great way, and, we've done a couple of waterfalls now here in Tennessee, and it's nice to be able to get movement in, to have movement just be considered normal, because how many people, whenever they look back on their childhood, it's like, well, we didn't really do things as a family. We might have like gone to the movies, but what are you doing? You're sitting and staring at a screen. Okay, we had movie nights on Friday, but what are you doing? You're sitting on the couch and staring at a screen. And that especially terrifies me now, like whenever we were traveling last weekend, and the number of people that just sitting in the airport, they're staring at their tablet, and it's like you're about to just go sit on a plane for 2.5 hours and stare at your tablet still. Like, we're walking from one end to another, like, hey, walk into the shop, look around, what do they have?
You
Hey,
got boys, you're trying to wear them out before that.
yeah.
I
Oh
know
my
with Henry,
gosh.
that's what I do, because he's just zipping anyway.
Yeah.
but we
So,
used to be more like we were more active in our childhoods because our parents were like, "Get the fuck out of the house and stop bothering me."
Well,
So you'd be
and
like,
it
"All right."
was, I think there's a lot of things, if you think about it, we still had electronics and gaming systems, but everybody can buy anything at a touch of a button now. You don't even have to have the money. You can put it on credit. You can put it on a credit card. You can finance it. Like, there's so many options that when we were kids, if you didn't have a lot of money, like, we didn't have an Xbox or a Sega or we did get Super Nintendo eventually, but you know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of how I grew up active, had we had more money, I might not have had it as active of as child.
Well, also, it was less socially acceptable back then too, to be in the house all the time on video games and stuff. So it was very much one of those things. Like when we were living with our grandparents, they'd be like, "Okay, you're allowed to play the video games from this time, and then I want you outside. Like you're gonna go play the baseball. You're gonna go run around. You're gonna do it, whatever. You're just gonna get the fuck out of my house and leave me alone for a little bit."
yeah.
They'd say, "You
Yeah.
need some fresh air." That meant get your ass outside.
Yeah, like when I was growing up, so we had even more land growing up, and Saturdays was not like wake up, watch cartoons, and then just play video games all day long. Like I had friends that was their Saturday. But for me, Saturday was it's going to be hot. There's my dad did not have any type of like a grass catcher on his mower, so that meant you had to fucking rake like 2 acres worth of strips of grass.
He
So
made
we
you
have
rake it? Why don't you just leave it?
because otherwise the thatch builds up too much on St. Augustine grass. Yeah. Dang it, Bobby. So,
Yeah, especially if you've never like mowed a wet Florida lawn.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And that's
Ugh.
the thing, like, you in Florida especially, you have to pick your bad. You can either mow first thing in the morning whenever it's, like, super damp and it's gonna clump, but it's also 25 degrees cooler, or you can mow at, like, once it's dry at 11 AM, but now it's already, like, 97 degrees outside, and it's still just as humid. So, for me, it was like, "Alright, wake up on Saturday, mow." Once everything was all raked, trimmed, etcetera, it was usually about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so starting to get right towards peak heat. We were allowed to play video games from, like, 1 to 4, and then after that, it was, you got a trampoline, you got a bike, play football, go like, we had a creek, go fishing, whatever. So, that was a lot of our activity, like, we were super limited on the screens, and even with Ellie and Jesse today, they have tablets, but the tablets only work during a hurricane or at the airport.
Oh, that's cute.
Like, that's it. I don't want my kids just absolutely glued in,
Yeah.
and it does make it a little more challenging, don't get me wrong, there are times I wanna just cave in and be like, "Oh my god, just take a tablet and just don't bother me for 30 minutes, please." But I would rather choose the harder option now and just go, "Okay, your problem is that you've got a bunch of energy. I don't necessarily have a bunch of energy, but let's go outside." Like, we bought Jesse one of those, like, inflatable boxing, like, punching bag dinosaur things, and it's like the kid will just beat the shit out of it for an hour straight.
So that was going to be my question is like, what are your ways that you keep yourselves doing active things when you're just drained as fuck? Like when it's easy to say, okay, go sit in front of the TV. Okay, here's the tablet. Okay, here's the thing that's not going to necessarily be active for you, but it's also going to be really chill for me. Because I think we all have the times where we just want to fucking lay down and come as close to death as possible for a while, right? For me, it's after like a fucking gnarly leg day. I'm like, I can cease to exist here for a few hours before I'm ready again. But like, what are the things that you guys have found that either like are enough or ways that you've managed to work around some of those things to keep you being invested and involved in active things with your kids?
Man, if I'm in contest prep, a lot of people might not admit this, but you don't make a lot of that time. It sucks, but you're just so tired. There were many times I felt so guilty because Pro would beg me. But in a general day to day, I feel like, Phil, do you feel like like Pearl sometimes like keeps me going? Because there's nights where I really don't feel like training and I'll look at her and be like, Pearl, should I train tonight? Yeah, let's go to the basement. And like, she's just so excited that I'm like, you know what? Let's go to the basement. I'll work out. But I think some of that is w- I've been doing it and forcing it for so long that it becomes second nature. So I don't, and I don't want to say hate it, but like there's nights I don't really want to train, but it just kind of becomes a part of you. Like some mornings I really don't feel like brushing my teeth, but I'm gonna do it. Like I'm not disgusting,
Right. That's
Oh, you
part
still
of,
do it when you don't feel like brushing your teeth?
every time.
Ugh.
like, I think that's just part of recognizing the hard reality of being an adult means you do a lot of shit that you don't really wanna do, and it's easy to let the fitness side of that go, like, there are so many nights that, look, the easiest thing would be, we've got a Burger King 3 minutes from our house. We've got a McDonald's the opposite direction 4 minutes from our house,
Lucky.
that
Plumper
would
every time.
I ain't got
and
no
Plumper.
shit near
there's
me.
a Taco Bell across the street from that Mackie D's, like, oh,
Ooh, I did
no.
buy the Baja Blast pie, by the way. Again,
How was that?
so I expected it to be one of the worst things I've ever tasted in my
Yep.
life. It was fucking solid. It was pretty good. It's like a key lime pie,
Really counting on you to talk him out of it.
right? So it's like a key lime pie, but it's a little bit less tart than a typical key lime pie and a little bit
Ooh,
sweeter. It is
really?
definitely not worth $20 in my opinion, though, because it is
For a
pretty
whole
small.
pie.
If I wanted a key lime pie, I would go to Publix and spend like 14, $15 on a little bit bigger pie.
Yeah, like, I love key lime pie. I do like the Baja Blast. but I don't like pie like that. It weirds me out looking at that color.
No, that's the best part, man. I just like I was with my in-laws because they were in town, and I just fucking took a handful of it and just mouthed it like straight to it.
Full on savage. See,
Yeah,
Ellie and Jesse, it's the damnedest thing. Like anytime they have a colored cake of any kind or whatever, like if we get them like for Jesse's birthday, we did a Sonic the Hedgehog cake, so it was like mostly Sonic blue. His shits for the next 2 days were blue, so we had blue shit stains in the toilet.
I did not have that problem with the
Uh,
Taco Bell pie
we would have probably
because
gotten
that
a
helps.
picture if he had.
So I'm like, if I bring that home, I know I'm gonna have like teal Baja Blast shits sitting
Have
in
a
the
real
toilet.
Baja Blast right in your fucking toilet.
And no, I don't take pictures of my excrements because you were still on the team, I think, at this point. I had a client that sent me a picture of her poop after a national show, and I was like, "No, we're drawing the line right fucking here. Absolutely not." Um,
Why
I
did
had
she send you her poop? What was the
she just thought it was funny, apparently. It's like, "Ha ha ha! I sent Coach a
Oh!
picture of my poop." I fucking didn't ask for that. Fuck no. I was not happy.
I had somebody send me a picture of their stool one time to be like, "Does this look like a number 3 on the Bristol stool chart?" And I'm like, "I dude, if you can't identify that for yourself, like
Then just
go
guess.
see a GI doctor." Like, I don't need to see pictures of your shit.
Yes,
No.
Like
correct.
I'll look at my kid's poo if I'm forced to, but like I don't
Right.
wanna look at anyone else's. I'm
Oh,
good.
I had to do a stool sample test for Pearl. I've never gagged so much in my entire life.
Yeah. so so I think the point of that for like sometimes you
Yes,
just fucking got to
you
do it.
just have to
Yeah,
do it. I know for me, one of the things I do is I block out 30 minutes a day, Monday through Friday, where I have one-on-one time with Ellie and Jesse, and it's as soon as they get home from
Sweet,
school.
Phil.
Like, I want them to always have that connection with me because I want them to be able to open up about their day even though they're kindergarten and 2nd grade. I want them to always be able to do that because, like, their problems are just gonna intensify as they get
Yeah, there's
older.
gonna be a time where you want them to sit down and I'm
I
the same way with Pearl. We're very open and very understanding for the reason of when she gets to be a teenager, I'm hoping she still is open and honest.
Yep.
he's
So,
friends with us, and so he's seen how our relationships with our dads have impacted us. He's like, "Fuck no,
I
I don't
cannot
want."
let like, look at us. Boy, girl, where are your kids, Phil?
Man,
Look at
he's
wait,
Reese
fucking
terrified.
do I get to claim you guys on my taxes?
no,
Please.
no. You only get to be shamed about us.
Oh,
Yeah,
I get
You
all
only
the
get to
bad
feel shame.
I
we're
get the
too old
bad
to be your
aspects of
dependents.
fatherhood. I gotta buy you guys birthday presents and shit now. Old daddy Phil. But, like, the 30-minute blocks with both of my kids, it just starts off with just one quick lap. We have the neighborhood we moved to in Tennessee, it's like a nice little block that we can walk right across the street. It's like a 7, 8-minute walk, but, like, it gets a little bit of energy out for them. I'm getting, like, 1,000 steps doing that. So now I do it 30 minutes later with kid number 2, and it's like, okay, I'm allowing kid 1 to focus on their homework while I'm walking the other walking the other one, sounds like I'm walking a
Gotta walk
dog.
your kids every
I
evening.
gotta take the
Get their
kids for a
energy
walk,
out.
sorry, honey. But, like, it gives them time to focus on their homework individually, but then, like, they also know, "Hey, I'm gonna have time with dad." So, like, I might go for a walk with them, and then if Ellie wants me to play Barbies with her, I'm playing Barbies. If Jesse wants me to play monster trucks or wrestlers, it's like, they got a little bit of energy out. I can do something fairly low key where like, "Oh, hey, will you go get the Barbie car? She needs to go to the hospital." Or, "Hey, Jesse, why don't you go grab the ramp? Let's get these going. Okay, it launched. Go get it, son." I try to find ways where even if I'm feeling tired, they're still getting movement in and I'm still engaging and playing with them. That is like my bare minimum for if I need to do something and I need to get my kids active. That's like bare minimum floor, that's what's minimally acceptable.
So I think this is beautiful because I think what often happens is like kind of they listen to Steven at the beginning of this podcast, like, nah, fuck that. Mowing your lawn's not good enough. And it's like, or if you haven't been mowing your lawn, start mowing your lawn. Let's make progress. Right. And these, like those little 30-minute walks or 20-minute walks or whatever it might be, those are great ways to start getting the ball rolling with making progress to it, with being a little bit healthier or helping to control weight a little bit better. Because it's kind of like the avalanche, right? It builds momentum as you go. And so the more that you say you can work these little things in to start small, the more energy you then start having as time progresses. Those little things start being easier. And now the next thing becomes more realistic, and you're more capable of doing that. And I think that's the hard part for a lot of people is that really non like exciting in between time of I'm just going to do little things for now and let that build up and let that like kind of, percolate to something good. And then as that, has percolated, now I got my coffee in, so to speak, right? Now I can do some more. Now I can do the next thing. Now I'm ready for the rest of the day. And I wish more people understood that. Um, and it would probably help if I wasn't such a bastard about it sometimes. But, you know,
Well, it's like the slingshot, right? You if you're not used to physical activity, yes, your first couple of weeks you're gonna be absolutely dog ass tired because it's more energy coming out than what your body is used to. If you've not gotten regular movement in years because, oh, I took this job and it's sales and I travel a lot and I got kids and it's practices and sports and recitals and dance and all this other stuff. And now you try adding in working out, like even if you just start easy, like, hey, I'm just going to try to go to the gym. I'm going to be in there for 30 minutes twice a week.
or
Fantastic.
even like say this, say if you travel, I'm not going to take time away from my family to go to the gym, but when I'm traveling, when I'm at the hotel, I'm going to use the hotel gym for a 15-minute workout at least
Yeah,
one of the
Jake
days I'm
does that. I mean, he
Yeah.
travels and when he's away, training's easier. I mean, he's worn down from meetings and stuff, but Phil, and I don't know, you don't train inside your own, but I know something that works for Jake when he's home is our son goes to daycare. It's about a 30-minute commute to the town where he goes to daycare, so he will take him for me the mornings that he's here, which helps wife, happy life, and then he'll just stop at a gym in town real quick. Yeah, he could come home and do it, but while he's out, he's up, it's first thing in the morning, he just stops, get in his training, and comes home and starts work.
That
Does he
was
wanna
what
come flex
I
in front of
did.
the camera real quick to let us know what he's got? Show him what you got. No?
Are you talking to
I
me?
want to
Oh,
see
'cause
what
you
you've
hear him
got.
open a fucking package? They want Steven wants to see your package.
Nothing new. He's
He
used to that.
said it was the fucking cat. It was scratching our package in the hallway, I think. Our
Cats.
little ball sack.
Yeah, love him. Um,
I used
but
to
I
do
mean,
the
yeah,
same
there's
thing
nice
though. Like, even like our last house, I had a 30 by 40-foot steel building built and I had a hell of a garage gym in there. Yes, I could have worked out, but for me it was okay, take Jesse to his daycare. It's 2 minutes from a crunch. Sometimes you just need that change of pace scenery, but like, look, it's right there. Why not get it in while I'm already out versus I come back home and shit's gonna happen. Like, there is a special mindset you have to be able to have a home gym and effectively use it. And there are going to be days where you don't have that mindset all the time. I view it always as like good, better, best, right? I did that opposite with my hands, but for me, best is did I make it to the gym today? Did I get in like my full hour-long workout plus planning like maybe a little bit of steps or something at the end? That's best. Good is, hey, I still managed to use the dumbbell and the adjustable bench that I've got. I've got a dumbbell set and adjustable bench in the garage here. That's still good. I'm not saying that my leg day with the adjustable bench and adjustable dumbbells is as good as, a leg press and squatting and hack squat and et cetera, but it's still better than doing nothing. And my bare minimum is going to be like, well, hey, let me at least get some form of physical activity in. Let me get the 2 walks in with the kids. Let me go for a 20-minute walk by myself. Like, is it the absolute most proud day that I have of the week if I have a day like that in terms of exercise and physical activity? No, but I'm still more proud of that compared to if I end my day with like 2,500 steps or 4,000 steps or something super low. Like, that's not good. I would rather still have, like, what is my bare minimum? This is, like, good, this is better, this is best, this is what I'm aiming for, but if I land here or I land here, I'm still happy with myself.
Yeah, I love low hanging fruit, and I wish that it got more credit for like how I think transformative it can be for a lot of people. Because for so many of us, like we don't even hit the low hanging fruit stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like those simple things. Um, so I have my ideas on nutrition. I know we're either going to go over or we're going to have to rush it for nutrition. But why don't we at least touch on like some of the things that help you guys for nutrition? Because there's no point in which we're never going to have like chicken nuggies or the simple things.
Right.
And there's no point in which like that's not going to be what the kids are going to have or whatever. Like, how do you guys go about and like trying to facilitate a healthy mindset with food choices and options, like not only for yourselves, but with the kids and how you run the household? And then how do you guys go about managing that when maybe it's not the quote unquote healthy choices that the kids are going to need to have or want to have, or it's not going to be fucking worth it? And then deciding what you're going to have, whether that's partaking with that sometimes or not. Like, how do you guys work around that?
I
So
will s Oh, go ahead, Bill.
no, no, you go ahead. I've been yammering a lot, it feels like.
I think that I have found, I know for myself, so the nights when kids are just gonna get nuggets and whatever, if it's one of those nights, on those nights, I don't partake with them, but I don't have a desire to, like, no part of me is like, can't wait to really fuel myself with some nuggets and french fries. But what it allows me to do is make exactly what I want. Completely, healthy, macro-wise, whatever, because when they're getting an easier option because I'm more tired or whatever it is, then that opens up me to also be able to have whatever I want. Um,
So
Now
let me challenge
cooking
something on this because I feel like this is one of the things that I was hoping one of you guys would get at, that I feel like a lot of people have a hard time with. And maybe like, because when we were kids, if my mom was home to make food, she was like, we're all eating the same thing because I'm making one fucking meal for this household. I ain't eating two
I
things.
grew up in the same kind of household. I personally don't agree with that, and here's why. I have a lot of clients who are my generation or older, and they are still stuck in that clean your plate, eat it because it's in front of you. That I don't think that sets you up because when they're adults, are they ever gonna? I mean, yes, it might be in like a work scenario where you eat it because it's there, whatever. But like, I try not to parent my kids in a way that's gonna be unrealistic for like real life. Like, I just don't see the benefit and point. But we still sit down together. We're still having a meal. They know it's dinner time, but I don't see the benefit of telling a kid, "Oh, you hate Brussels sprouts? Cool. Finish them or you're grounded, or finish them or go to your."
You
Who's winning there? I'm making them hate eating, and I'm making a bad experience. I just don't see a point. Both of my kids will eat certain vegetables, and there's certain ones each one won't eat. I'm fine with that because I'm not gonna eat shit I don't wanna eat, so I'm not gonna make my kids do it.
right. I take a very similar stance. What it comes back to for me is two concepts. One, eat what you want, but add what you need. So, like, if Ellie wants macaroni and cheese, fine. We're gonna make the Kraft single serve mac and cheese for her. That's fine. You have what you want, but we need some veggies on there and we need some type of lean protein. Hey, here are your options for these things. Because essentially, if I break it down for myself as an adult, what's basically what I do. I I like steak. So that's what I want. I add what I need. I add in a potato, or I add in broccoli, or I add in, asparagus, peas, green beans. What I try to get my kids to understand is just like I'm not forcing myself to eat something I don't like. Like I I do not like Brussels sprouts. It's like
Not my
I'm good.
favorite.
I've tried it all kinds of different ways. Whenever you can wrap it in bacon and I still won't eat it, it's pretty fucking horrible.
That's when you know it's shit vegetable.
Yep. So like I'm as an adult, if somebody puts Brussels sprouts in front of me and says, "You have to eat this." Look, if my kid's life is not on the line or my wife's, like, I don't care. Fucking I'm I'm not doing it. We'll fight over that one. I'm not going to force my kids to eat things that they genuinely do not like because I don't want their relationship with food to now start to be focused on, okay, well, whenever something's in front of me that I do like, I want to eat all of it. I want my kids to have a healthy relationship with food.
Yep.
I think that that's a healthy approach of eat what you want, add what you need, and it also teaches basic constructs of what a healthy plate should look
Nutrition.
like
Yeah.
from childhood going into adulthood. Lean protein, some type of veggie or some type of fruit, and just
Yeah.
what
And
what
I
else are you
think
wanting?
we're past, hopefully everybody's past, like, we can't rely on, I think some people get caught up in, like, they let the school kinda teach nutrition. I realized out of the gate, kindergarten, she came home, "Mom, we talked about food today." "Great." And I got a whole list of foods that are good, foods that are bad, and I had to just cut it and be like, "Hey, hey, hey, hold on." I was like, "Listen, there's not good foods, bad foods. You can have everything in moderation," like, because it's not the school's job to teach our children nutrition and how to eat. It's their job to feed them a nutritious meal the best they can given
The hell it isn't.
the opportunity, but I don't think it's their job to teach my daughter healthy eating habits. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's on me. So
So
I
I actually I do the Great American Teach-In every year for Nikki's school,
okay.
and I come in and I talk about nutrition. I talk
Aw,
about
that's cool, Phil.
nutrition and I
You're
talk about
such a
exercise.
solid dude, Phil.
Well, you can only get so many classes in, so I volunteer throughout the year for whatever school she's teaching at, where, like, every every grade, essentially, "Look, this is what your plate is, this is what protein is, this is what, you should be active, what are forms of activity?" Like, I do that
Mhm.
whole thing with them because I take the similar approach of it's not the school's job, but also the American education system is to say soggy dog shit would be giving it a compliment. So I try to just be the change that we wanna see. It's one
I think the
school.
expectation is too high for the school system. Like, I think we are taking something that, like, has and to be fair, it does not have the majority of the week for the kids. And we're expecting them to teach them, I think, everything that they fucking need to know in life, which wasn't an expectation back in the day, but is now. And even so, I think that how we teach nutrition traditionally does a disservice because it acts like we're in the perfect world where we're just going to eat lean proteins and veggies all the time. We're only going to have unprocessed food and we're not like fucking busy all the time and the rest of the stuff. So, obviously for us, our job is helping people to feel like they have a realistic, I think, handle on their nutrition. Like, okay, cool. There's never going to be a point where I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm never going to eat a fucking Twinkie again. It's going to happen. Give me that.
Zombieland,
These are
baby.
nasty.
Which they do go bad. I've seen it happen. I had one that got green mold all over it, like after, I don't know, a year or
Was it
something.
was
And
it a Twinkie or was it a Twonky?
it
Like,
was a
was it one of
Twinkie.
the knockoffs?
The
Oh no,
fuck
it
is a
was,
twonky? You just make shit up?
yeah.
You know we're both
Yeah.
stupid.
But like, and so people have to recognize that we're going to have the what's the Panda Express. We're gonna have the Whompers. We're gonna have the XYZ, whatever. How do we set ourselves up to be successful to where we can have that once in a while, but we're not always doing that and we're not dependent on it. And I think this is like such a cool thing that you guys are doing with the kids and saying, okay, cool, we're gonna work around what's gonna be realistic for you. We're gonna work within the bounds of reality and what that means for us so that we can set ourselves up to be successful with that because I agree. Same thing happened with me as a kid. Eat your fucking broccoli, eat this, eat that. It's like, okay, well, the only way I knew how to quote unquote be healthy was a way that I hated, that made me unhappy, that wasn't a realistic option for me. And it would have been way cooler if I had been like, "Oh, we're gonna figure out ways to make this realistic and reasonable for you in things that we can as best as humanly possible." Um, so now you're not having to refigure that out again as an adult because, of course, also it took me a long time because I was like, "Well, I'm just gonna not do whatever you wanted me to do that I hated doing anyways because fuck you, mom, fuck you, dad." You know, I have a mohawk now. Yeah. Uh,
Mine was a tattoo at 18.
I also got a tattoo on my 18th birthday,
Same.
but it was for my dad. So my mom could only be so pissed about it.
I waited till mine healed before I told my mom.
Oh no, I was first day. I love pissing my mom off. Uh, it was always because she always like fucking tell me no on stuff. Like she's like, no guns in my house. And then I bought a Glock one day and just brought it home. I was like, can't fucking take it back.
No returns, mom.
Yeah. And she's like, no fucking, no more dogs in this house. And this is while I was in college and still staying with it. And I just, I brought Locke back at like 5.5 weeks old, and she's like, God damn it. And she's like, she wasn't gonna fucking fight it.
May my son be nothing that Steven is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you and my mom have a lot of differences.
I hope so. Just based off the stories, I hope so.
So, like, I feel like what this kind of goes into it, like when we talk about the Burger King, the fast food, the easier to make options. I think, and again, I don't have kids yet. Hopefully, we don't have kids anytime soon. I don't think I want kids at this point. So I'm gonna have a kid. I'm gonna fucking adopt one that's a little bit older, so that I'm not getting him out of
Out of
my
the
house when
diaper
I'm fucking
case,
60.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, but like you need to have go-to options that are like kind of within the baseball stadium. Maybe we're not running first and second base, but we're fucking still at least in the bleachers to some degree.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think when it comes to nutrition, especially with kids and just a busy life too, realizing that you're not going to be able to avoid having to eat on the fly for the rest of your life. Like it's
Yep.
going to happen. But I think I know for me what I do because there's times where I'm tired. I know McDonald's isn't a great option, but I'm tired and I got a lot to do still that night. So the kids get Happy Meals. If I have waited too long or there's some reason why I'm not making it home, and I think I said this on another podcast, but I just get a Happy Meal with my kids. Am I full? No. But is it enough to keep me from getting hangry and get me to a destination where I can get better food? Yes. And you can do that at every restaurant because I've had clients that check and say, hey, I was stuck at the ball game with my kid all night. So I had nachos and a hot dog and like all this shit that was way too much food. If you are actually in dire need and you're hungry, yeah, eat a hot dog. One hot dog is not going to set you back, but it would definitely be enough. I mean, from a female, but I think for a male too. If my husband was starving and he got a damn hot dog, he'd be all right for another hour till we got home.
Yeah.
You got to get that glizzy sometimes, dog.
I
Sometimes
love hot dogs.
sometimes it's glizzy day, baby. Like,
So here's the other thing though, but like you're not going fucking overboard. Like you're like, okay, cool, we're gonna get the kids food. I'm gonna get something to hold myself over for a little bit here. Because I know a lot of moms that like it's the other end of the spectrum. They like fucking eat 800 calories a day. I was like, yo, we gotta stop doing this shit to
Because
ourselves,
they'll eat bites and they'll eat
right?
proper kids while they prepare.
So like there's this middle ground between like, okay, cool, I'm not fucking going for the extra large with the fucking regular soda and the fucking 2,000 calorie meal for this because I'm stressed out. Because there's part of it, it's like it's stressful. Adulthood's stressful in and of itself. You have living human beings now dependent on you. It's really easy to say fuck it and just do the thing that's like, okay, cool. It's gonna have a lot of dopamine because tasty taste, yum yums.
You
But we
know,
also don't want to do the thing where we just fucking don't eat either.
another hard thing that isn't a mom thing, but I think that some moms maybe, but Phil, you can maybe attest this because I notice it with my husband a lot. Men have this thing where when everyone's done, I don't know if it's they're afraid to waste. I don't know if they're still hungry. But it is often my husband will finish what me and my kids don't eat or kind of pick at ours. Like he's finished with his, so he'll kind of smorgasbord and see what we had left and if there's anything he'd like a second taste of.
the human garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you quit beating me to everything?
Sorry.
Every idea, I'm like, okay, cool. We got to talk about leftovers too. And he's just like, fuck this, no leftovers, motherfucker.
So
Yeah, Jake, no crumb left behind.
I grew up being raised on leftovers, so I think that might be like part of it.
Same.
Um, for me, it's like, okay, I had food. I'm not hungry anymore. I'm going to just put it away because I think that also stems back to a lot of people. Like my parents weren't this way where they force you to clean your plate, but like my mima and my abuela, absolutely, like you did not get up from the table if there was even a morsel of food left.
Did they have a dog?
Nope.
Oh, you're fucked.
No, no, that's the thing. Like, so my abuela hates animals. I'll just put it out there. She doesn't like cats, dogs, nothing. If you have a cat or a dog in your house, you might as well just live in the sewer with the Ninja Turtles. Like, so
What about possums and raccoons?
that's my abuela,
You
man.
feel about crocodiles.
Like animals do not belong in the house in her mind. So like there was nothing there. My Meemaw, she had a blind, toothless, like 19-year-old hairless chihuahua that
Didn't eat much.
ain't eating shit. Like literally she fed her baby food. So like,
Oh, you're fucked. So you got to finish everything.
oh well then my Meemaw would come around and she would go, "Okay," she, like, press on the stomach and go, "There's still a little bit of room right here." So, like, I'm not hungry, I am full, and I'm having to force myself to eat
But
more, so
Meemaw
for
said you
me
got room.
oh, there's the Meemaw reserve.
That is wild, but that's yeah.
So, like,
She probably
I
didn't want
don't
leftovers, so she made you eat it, so she wouldn't.
but that was the thing. My Meemaw like, was not raised literally born in a dirt floor house. That's how poor her family was whenever she was growing up. Um, my papa was single mom with 4 other brothers, so, like, single mom, 5 kids, living in a trailer, like, food was grown, food wasn't bought for them. So, like, that and they grew up through the depression, so it was like food was scarce, now they wanna make sure you have it because they don't know if they're gonna
Yeah,
always have it.
yeah.
My parents, though, it was a lot of like, "Hey, we learned how to cook like we're feeding an army," because of their parents. So for me, I grew up like I didn't like the feeling of forcing myself to eat, forcing myself to clean my plate. And it's something else that I teach my kids like, look, if you're full, just stop eating. That's fine. As
Mm,
long as you've eaten enough. I don't want them to view food as like, well, this is all I can have, like, or I have to eat everything that's in front of me. I want them
yeah,
to have that healthy balance of if you're hungry, eat. If you're not hungry, don't. It's fine. Make sure that you've gotten a minimum amount. Hey, look, if you're not hungry, that's fine, but at least take a couple of bites of whatever the protein is. If you asked for something, like if Ellie asked for her mac and cheese, like, you gotta at least eat a couple of bites of that. Otherwise, yeah, we're just gonna save it and it's gonna be leftovers. Like I am the leftover dad. So for me, I don't do that as far as like human garbage
You're not
disposal.
leftovers, buddy. You're fucking USDA Prime Dad. Don't you dare say that about yourself.
I know I feel like in my house too with Jake eating the extra, sometimes I secretly want him to, not because I want him to gain weight, but because I know I won't eat it if he takes over my plate. So sometimes
You're like, "Get fucking fat, Jake, because
I
nobody else will want you, and that
If
can
you're
fucking make it
bigger,
even
you
worse."
can't outrun me, Jake.
like, he can't he's not a runner. I always tell everybody, they're like, "He looks like he could beat my ass," and I'm like, "Just run faster, that's your only chance."
So here's the weird thing that I think, there's probably a lot of reasons why that used to work. I feel like the foods that are cheapest now tend to be really calorie heavy and, like, fat heavy,
Yeah.
whereas, like, when we were poor, we were still eating, like, fucking Hamburger Helper and maybe some other shit, right? It wasn't, like, the same, and Hamburger Helper is definitely still, like, a I'm on a budget kind of food,
Mhm.
um,
I
but,
would
like,
still fuck up some cheeseburger macaroni.
well,
Oh,
same thing like
absolutely.
ramen noodles and mac and cheese and that kind of stuff too. Um, but like the way that we went about it or the way that it was served, it was different, I feel like, versus now it's a lot easier to overeat on calories.
Yeah.
But and I don't know, I might just be having this fucking realization that we were like everybody wants to do intuitive eating and just like eat how they feel like, and we might not realize that, oh, we might have this fucking intuition now as adults that's just kind of fucked up and doesn't actually serve us well, and we wanna act like that should be the good thing, but it for most of us, it's probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, I had
Like,
a
there should
client
be more
ask
in it.
me, like, "What is intuitively eating?" I'm like, "That's what everybody does who doesn't count macros." They all just I was like, "But if they're overweight, their intuition just failed them." Like, they just thought, "I would like this."
Right,
Um,
because there's also a slippery slope between for someone who has struggled with their relationship with food, there can be a very slippery slope between, am I intuitively eating or am I emotionally eating? Because it can be hard to identify actual hunger for a lot of people. Or even on the intuitive eating side, like, if you grew up in a household where it was clean your plate, like, I get the oddball look because, like, we go out to eat with friends or something, and I'm, like, the only guy who's not cleaning his plate, and it's like, well, yeah, it's a restaurant. Their portion sizes are absolutely massive.
I know.
I'm not that hungry. I would never make that much food for myself for dinner unless I, like, skipped lunch.
Yeah.
Like, if I ate intuitively, I would probably clean that plate because also in your intuitive eating can also be impacted by, like, social, like, who else is eating, who else is around you.
Or you're
Like,
drinking
if you live
alcohol,
with
that changes.
yeah, like, if you're somebody even if you're not a parent, right, and you live with a roommate and they're a bigger person, like, hey, they probably have a bit of an appetite.
My
If
roommate's a bigger person with a big appetite.
fucking hate going out to eat with people now. Cause like after the stomach surgery, I eat more slowly because I don't have the same amount of room in my stomach. And like I had to relearn how to eat and make sure that everything was actually getting into my stomach and like I could swallow appropriately after the surgery. And so even going out, I kind of fucking don't love even going out to eat with Jill nowadays because she eats so much faster and it fucking makes me uncomfortable to have her done with her food, sitting there just watching me fucking
Jake
eating
eats
and
way
finishing it.
faster than me.
Yeah, and, that's a me problem,
Well,
whatever,
I get that
but
though, like, I relate because whenever I was over 300 pounds, like, I was always the first person done because I would just eat so damn fast, and that was one of the big things for me was slowing down my eating and giving myself time to recognize, like, "Oh, I am full," and, "Oh, I suddenly ate half of the plate compared to before because everybody eats so fast, and I like for a meal to be more of, like, not to sound like a damn foodie, but I like for a meal to be more of an experience. Like even a regular boring ass dinner, I want to talk to my kids. I want to hear about their day. I want to hear about my wife's day. I want to talk about my day. So like our dinners will take 20 minutes for us to be done eating. And whenever I go out to eat with friends, it's still the exact same. Like I'm the one trying to talk because I'm also just like take a bite, chew, give it a little bit of time, take another bite, chew. I'm right there with you. So Steve, you and I, we need to just be dinner
I
buddies.
gotta say it, I gotta say it. Phil is the living embodiment of, "And the chicken nuggets, eh."
I don't even know what that's from.
I don't
It's a fucking weird internet thing.
Oh
Jillian
my
always does it all the time. Her and her brother, like, will say it to each other, "The chicken nuggets, eh." I'm
I
fucking
can't unsee that now, Phil.
it was inside of me. It had to
You
fucking
had to do
bubble
the
out.
chicken nugget thing.
For me, it's, like, weird though
okay.
because I feel like that could go 2 ways. One, I could eat less because I'm uncomfortable and I just don't want food in front of me. Um, but for me, I feel like I sometimes more often than not, I will eat more because it's like, "Oh, you're looking at me with food on my plate," and it's 100% from my fucking childhood. Like, I recognize that. It's like, "Oh, you're looking at me, you're done eating, I still have fucking food on my plate, I need to finish the food on my plate because that's what I'm supposed to do." Like, that's my intuition, that's what's so fucking ingrained in me that I'm like, even if I'm not hungry, even if I don't want to, even if I fucking whatever, I'm like, "Okay, cool, well, now I'm gonna be uncomfortable and I'm gonna fucking finish that food because" and maybe that's what makes me uncomfortable about it, is it reminds me of my fucking parent looking at me like, "Finish your plate before you can go do something else."
Yep. In my elementary school, in the 3rd grade, you had to finish 3/4 of your plate before you could go to recess. Recess was right after lunch, and it sucked because some days you're just not hungry. So I would either, if it was strips of meat, I would hang it on the rafters under my table, or I would shove my milk carton full of food so I could go to recess.
I used to do that too sometimes, yeah.
Nice.
I just put shit in my milk carton so that nobody had to see that I didn't eat it. Or, like, if I got something in my mouth and I started chewing it up and it was fucking gross, I would spit it into my empty milk carton.
Yep, or my
Yeah.
napkin. Yep.
Yeah, alright, so let me fucking finish with this idea. Because, well, realistically, leftovers wanted it was the way I wanted to kind of, like, work into it was, like, having simple things that are already ready a bunch of time, like the pre-prep stuff. I swear to God, bulk prepping stuff is I feel like it's the cheat code to staying fit because if you have a bunch of lean protein already made, it is so much easier to make the decision to eat the lean protein.
Mhm.
If you have veggies already made or that are super convenient for you to have on deck, you are so much more likely to have those things. And if you have less of the stuff that's really fucking convenient, sure, but poorer food quality options or things that are going to put you over or away from your goals more, and you have less of those things available, then you're going to be less apt to be doing those things that aren't benefiting you the same.
Yep.
And I feel like left because if you pre-prep everything, you're literally eating leftovers all the fucking time. That's
Yeah.
your life is leftovers. My life is pretty much fucking leftovers for the most part.
Yep.
And guess what? That helps me to be super successful with my food stuff because I'm cheap as fuck and I am lazy as fuck. So like I'm like, oh cool, I can just put some chicken and veggies and rice on a plate real quick, throw it in the microwave, and then I'm like I don't have to do
That's
anything else. I can eat.
Yeah, I
Yep.
that's
mix mine up with sauces. So I just pick different barbecue sauces or Chick-fil-A sauce, or
Same.
it's a way to mix it up with still, and I think having damn ladybugs everywhere. I think having for me a healthy mix of pre-made stuff, protein options, rice, potatoes, whatever it is, and then I keep a pretty good of pre-made things. So like Fairlife shakes, yogurt cups, things that I don't have to prep for those moments when, I mean, there's even sometimes as a parent or just life, like you don't even have time to warm something up. So you're just grabbing something and running out the door.
yeah. No, the Fairlife protein shakes, string cheeses, Greek yogurt cups, those are like my go-to. If I'm suddenly running super busy on something, it's like I still need fuel, I need calories, I need to honor my body. Let me get this in. Like, okay, protein shake, 30 grams of protein, toss in a string cheese, there's another seven, do the Greek yogurt cup. I'm easily sitting at 50 grams of protein and something that, even as slow of an eater as I am, like I just knocked out 50 grams of protein easily in like 5 minutes or less. But the bulk prep stuff, like before we jumped on this podcast, I was like, oh, I've got 15 minutes to get something to eat. Whew, thank God that I prepped a bunch of lean ground beef. Let me just do that. Toss in a little bit of sauce, toss in a little bit of fat-free shredded cheese, mix that up. Next to it in the microwave, the instant rice cup, just peel the top off, stick it next to it. Boom, done. Like there's a quick, easy lunch. It's a heck of a lot better than anything else. Or like if it is the night of we had piano lesson run late, traffic was pretty gnarly, the kids are hungry, it's getting close to bath time, bedtime. Yeah, let's get the kids Happy Meals. I've got the protein already prepped and sitting in the fridge. We've got the instant rice cups, or like they have the same thing for mashed potatoes, just add hot water and mixy. You have frozen veggies that if anybody is putting their nose up at frozen or canned veggies, guess what? Those are typically gonna be
Yo,
preserved a lot fucking fresher
Yeah.
than the fresh that you think you're getting from the grocery store, because that shit was picked and been sitting on trucks and sitting in the back of that grocery store for at least 3 days, versus the stuff that's flash frozen in the bags. That stuff was picked and frozen and preserved within 24 hours.
And I know there's no bug germs on it because it either sat in its sodium water or it got frozen.
Yep.
I like the bug germs. It helps me to keep a strong, you know, whatever it's called that keeps me from getting sick.
Je ne
Ugh.
sais quoi.
I am really bad about
Yeah.
washing my vegetables. Come at me if you will. I don't care. I don't always wash them. The one time
Shit.
I decided to soak a broccoli head, I was like, "That's gross. I'm never
Oh,
doing
yeah.
that again."
The little
So,
mites.
but like, here's the other consideration too. Like, okay, cool. It took you 5 minutes to make your food. It probably about the same for the kids, whatever. How long does it take to get in the car, to go to McDonald's or to go to whatever fast food, order that, get it made, bring it home and eat? It's like this fallacy that that's more
More
time
convenient.
efficient
Mhm.
than
Right.
maybe, okay, I took a few hours over the weekend and I was doing stuff, but I was cooking and making stuff ahead of time and shopping,
And it's
whatever.
cheaper.
It's
Yeah.
way cheaper.
Yeah.
Um, so like there is this kind of sunk cost fallacy or sunk time fallacy that I think a lot of people have, that the fast food options are always easier. Maybe it is going to be actually more time efficient if you're on your way home and it's going to be there, whatever.
Yeah, you know,
Um,
Yeah.
but
But
in a
like,
lot of cases, it's not.
yeah, that's the only time that we'll do fast food, is if like we're on the way home. It has to even be on the right side of the road because like I'm not trying to cross
same,
traffic. Eh,
same.
I don't fucking make left-hand turns for nobody.
Kiss my ass,
I'm the
lefties.
same. Pearl loves Panda, and I always gotta make the wrong turn out to come back home, but Panda, anybody listening, I love Panda for myself because it's pretty simple ingredients,
Yeah.
and it's one of the most cost-efficient ways to feed my family. Like, for $30, I get me, Henry, Pearl, and usually when we go there, for some reason, my niece is with us, but for, like, $30, everybody ate dinner. That's insane.
Yeah.
Bro, I eat cheaper than that at the family-owned Chinese food places
Oh, yeah,
near
all you
me.
can eat?
Whoa.
I don't fuck with
You know, not
buffets,
even all you
though.
can eat, dude.
People don't wash their hands.
There's cheap. It's like
Oh.
$6 a person for a fucking full meal. I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's
Oh,
go."
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and so there's but it's so much cheaper to prepare too because I have like, we moved out to the country, obviously. Before that, we were in town, I door dashed a lot, and not always unhealthy stuff. Sometimes I would DoorDash, like, a steak and a baked potato from a place, I was just tired. but the amount of money I have saved now because I don't have that convenience and we're eating just as good. So I think some people think, "Oh, it's so expensive to eat healthy," where if you just put in the back work, it's really not. It either comes out to the same or cheaper depending on places you eat out.
If you're door dashing and you're complaining about food costs, like we have a disconnect, my
We
friends.
found your problem.
No shit, yeah.
Like, I'm a big fan of just know your options. Like, I know there's nothing on the McDonald's menu that I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pay money for that and still be within, like, my calorie goals." Like, I'm not paying $12 for a grilled chicken sandwich. But if we're talking, like, Chick-fil-A, okay, well, I actually enjoy
Grilled
that.
nuggets, yeah.
Sure, I'll get the grilled nuggets, I'll get the large fruit cup with a side, or if I'm like, "You know what? I've got the calorie budget, let me get a small or a medium fry," cool. I also one of my favorite things to do is their side of mac and cheese, the grilled nuggets, and the buffalo sauce, buffalo mac and grilled chicken. There you go.
Nice,
But,
solid.
like, know your options for if you are going to go, like, there's nothing from McDonald's that I wanna eat, so I'm just gonna order it for my kids, and whenever I get home, I'll take 5 minutes to heat my pre-made stuff up, and I'm in line with my goals, and I feel better about my decision, and I don't feel like shit the next day, and I don't have all the GI issues from eating greasy McDonald's. Chick-fil-A, like, hey, it digests well, I enjoy it, I know my options there. Cool. Panda Express. Love me some Panda Express. Back whenever Chipotle was actually good quality food, like in Florida, because all the ones near us like went to shit. But like I would go there and I would just get meal prep for myself for a week. I would just order nothing but chicken and nothing but steak in the little pans, and then nothing but two things of rice and veggies. And there, that was my meal prep for like 30 bucks
Solid.
I ate for the week.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, like it's just one of those things. So, all right, well, we should probably wrap it up because we're getting fucking long winded.
Yeah,
This is what
my
happens when you're not here every week, Phil.
Damn it, Phil.
it's all my
Fuck,
fault.
Fucking
It's all my
Phil.
fault. Wasn't for Phil, there'd
yeah,
be world peace. No hunger.
man. You know, I'm just sad that we don't call people like I miss. They used to call like really effeminate guys dandies. I miss the days when I could just be a dandy. Yeah, you know, like give me the frilly fucking shirts and all the rest of the shit.
Oh, yeah. I could see you as like a bagpipe and a kilt kind of vibe.
I
Well,
have 2 kilts.
Yep.
I'm picturing, remember, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm
What
talking
the fuck
about.
is that from, you crazy psychopaths?
It's from the fucking internet.